Hello and welcome to another episode of Across the Bricks. My name is Wade Knapp. I'm here with my co-host Aiden Varenkamp. How are you, Aiden?
Pretty good.
I'm glad.
Tired. Yeah.
We're coming off of a race week. We've got another few weeks, another break.
But you know what that means? It's almost May, which means it's Indy 500 season. Let's go.
Woo! Dude, we've been waiting so long. I personally, May is my favorite month of the year for just as an Indianapolis citizen, resident. Well, I guess kind of.
And it's better now than it was previously because now in college, we get off like the first week of May instead of like 3 weeks in. So, that helps make it better.
I don't know about you. My plan is to be at practice every day.
Yeah, I would love to do that.
And be at the track.
If I can afford to.
And practice is cheap. It might be free.
Yeah, I know, but like
to be honest,
with
I don't know.
Carb day tickets, 500 tickets,
my parents pay for the carb
day
day tickets.
Yeah.
Like I do get away with that.
Yeah.
But no, dude, it's May.
Yeah. Well, no, not yet. Not yet. I mean, we're 9 days away.
It's May.
Okay.
Racing wise, it's May.
Okay, sure.
I'm creeping up on it. Like I feel like I got a bigger smile on my face. I'm so excited.
Oh, we gotta do our 500 video series. Well, I'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
We got that. Yeah.
I'm so excited for that as well. And I'll let you explain that. You just want to explain it now?
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna do a video series. We're gonna have a video every day of racing highlights from the Indy 500. So it can be like finishes, like good racing moments, crash compilations, or whatever. So
whatever Aiden and I come up with in our editing brains.
Yeah.
But hopefully that'll just get you guys in the mood. You'll find that on our Instagram, our TikTok.
You know what the first one should be?
What do you think?
Kyle Kirkwood's tire kills woman's car. 2023 Indy 500.
Shout out Snowball.
Yeah.
Like, that's real IndyCar ball knowledge. If you know the name of the car that Kyle Kirkwood's tire hit. Yeah. Dude, they gave her a pace car from that year.
They did.
Like, she upgraded in this world. She had a pretty cheap Chevy something.
And they gave her a Corvette.
They gave her a really nice Corvette with an Indy 500 logo inside of it. So, I don't remember the woman's name, but an RIP to Snowball. But it's dude. Hopefully that gets you guys as followers in the spirit for the month of May.
Yeah.
Look out for those videos. I know there's a lot of other. I mean, you're probably going to see a lot of Indy 500 highlights throughout the month of May. But we can hopefully jump on that train.
Can we have May songs, like Indy 500 songs, the way we have Christmas songs? Like simply having a wonderful Indy time.
Yeah, that's essentially. That was really good. I did not know where you were going with that. Dude, I'd love. We just need a dedicated, very talented Clayton Anderson, Indiana guy. Come make us some like 500 songs. I'm sorry. He might have already done this. I have no idea.
And why don't you do it? You have a band.
I don't know if our
follow Wade Knapp Music.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the talent level we're looking for a legit Indy 500 song. Like we need I know Back Home Again in Indiana is kind of the 500 song, but like that's kind of that's traditionally
we need like a newer song.
We need like a one shining moment to March Madness song that there is. And Back Home Again in Indiana is the traditional one, but I feel like that's not the vibe we're going for.
That's like the national anthem of the Indy 500.
Yeah.
Right? But we need something more modern.
You can argue that One Shining Moment's the national anthem of March Madness, but that's not what I'm going for here.
Yeah.
Like a song that when they play, a song that gets played. Not that One Shining Moment gets played very often, but like more often than Back Home Again in Indiana. That like when you think of it, you think of May.
Yeah.
And I know this is a very small group that we're preaching to here.
Yes, it is.
But
I don't think anyone cares besides us and maybe like 10 other people. But you know
what?
We're gonna do it for those 10 other people because
what I'm gonna do right now
as race fans.
I'm gonna look up. I'm going to Spotify.
Okay.
And I'm going to just look up Indy. Oh, I got so many things I got X out of. Indy 500 playlist. Like 2026 Indy 500. There's officially a playlist for it already.
Interesting. Okay.
Made by Kyle French and one other that I can't load.
Okay.
We start out with Mary Jane's Last Dance.
Yeah, of course. Well, that's got to be out there.
Yeah. Nothing You Can Do by Turnpike Troubadours. Dude, it's a good playlist. When the Sun Goes Down. I assume this is just a lot of like songs that he'll play at his tailgate or something like that. But I feel like Aiden and I, we should go through.
We can have an Indy 500
We should make an official Across the Bricks Indy 500 playlist. Yeah. And I feel like between your and I's music knowledge, we're good at this.
We can do that.
We just every Indiana reference in a song that we can think of. We put it all in the in the month of May playlist for all of our listeners and the
We grew up in some Indiana towns.
Okay, good looking mama who never was around. We should totally do this, and I'm so down. I'm gonna start on that tonight. So
cool. Yeah.
But dude, it's month of May. I'm so excited.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Long Beach because that happened, and I think it needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
Because there's some interesting conversations to be had. So obviously, yeah, we had Long Beach. It was not the most eventful race, which was a topic of conversation. I mean, personally, I don't think it's much of a problem because it's to us, it's Monaco, right? To F1 fans. So I mean, it's okay that it doesn't have the most exciting racing. Obviously, it would have been better had the caution not come out on lap 65 or something. That kind of
It just came out in a bad time.
It ruined the strategies that were going on in that race. Definitely, it would have been better with that. But I think the big reminder from this race, the big takeaway is this DW12 zombie chassis is just dead, and it's not great.
Obviously in IndyCar we need a new car right now.
Yeah.
I don't think that's 100% to blame for a lot of the I don't want to call it poor racing, but just some of the more bland races we've had. At
Overall,
the
quality in racing hasn't been as good the last 2 years specifically, or really since the hybrid came in June 2024.
I think it's more to do with the hybrid than the chassis.
It is, but that's the thing because the chassis obviously they
wasn't
designed
built
it
for the hybrid.
They didn't design it with an extra 100-pound hybrid in mind, or the Aeroscreen Halo system that they added in 2020. So obviously there's been a ton of excess weight that's been added to that car. And the Aeroscreen wasn't a problem. Like we saw seasons like 2023 were fantastic. Just racing wise. But
the Aeroscreen was a lot less added weight than the hybrid was. Yeah. Also, you're just adding a little protective system compared to completely changing the engine, which is one of the most important
parts of the car where the weight's being added. That matters a lot too.
Also true.
So the center of the car kind of more towards the front versus the back, where it's helps stabilize the rear. And
I remember even when they 2021, this was a big problem. Mm-hmm. Even when they added the Aeroscreen, 2020 specifically the 500, they were having a lot of trouble passing in traffic, and that's something that got better and better with other adjustments to the back wing and things like that throughout the next 2 years between 2022 and 2023, which were, if you remember, the Ericsson and Newgarden year where there were big last lap passes or end of the race passes, and it was really exciting finishes. Yeah. And then 2024 is the year they added the hybrid.
Yeah, but it was after the 500.
Yeah, so it was 20, and then 2024 obviously Newgarden passing on the last last lap.
Yeah.
And then
that was pre-hybrid. So.
Yeah, and then 2025 was our first hybrid race, and I'm not going to put anything on last year. I don't think it affected too much of the 500 specifically.
It wasn't super noticeable, really. I mean, no, not at all.
I think the end. People complain about the end. That's all lap car based.
But that would have happened with the old.
That would have happened
anyways.
with the old car.
Yeah.
But I do think the hybrid has affected a lot, dude. It's felt longer since we've had the hybrid than just since midway through 2024.
I know.
It's just the boost you get from it isn't enough. It's a marketing stunt. That's what I'm looking for.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was Honda trying to show that they, are eco-friendly and whatnot, even though it really doesn't have much of an effect on it at all. And, obviously IndyCar was forced to comply because Honda was going to leave the series if they didn't do it, which really sucks. So, I mean, I guess it was a sacrifice that had to be made, but when it affects the quality of racing, it's just bad for the fans and bad for everyone involved. Yeah,
I wish there was a way that we could market it as eco-friendly. Without, doing something like a hybrid.
Yeah.
I know Shell came up with the 100% renewable fuel, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And that's worked out really well. And Firestone's come out with their new their green tire for a while.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Their Wahili, I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
Something like that. They're now renewable. The rubber that comes off of it, which now they use for all their tires,
biodegradable.
Is biodegradable.
Yeah.
So. IndyCar's doing great things all across their series in that way. And I just wish that the really important part, like the engine, I guess I don't know too much about it, but if we're burning 100% renewable fuel, what does the engine have to do with it at that point, right? If we're already burning 100% renewable fuel, then what's the problem in just burning a bit more 100% renewable fuel?
Yeah, I know. And it really doesn't have much of an effect on fuel mileage, right? It's mostly just the one big thing that it has done is made the car it doesn't stall as easily, So drivers are able to get away easier, which is good.
Auto restart.
Restarts in pit lane
and reverse.
Yeah,
it's just getting stuck in gears less likely, just because it has that extra energy on board.
Yeah.
but we're seeing a lot less electrical failures, which was not a common occurrence, but not rare.
Yeah.
Like Herta 2019 Indy 500 is the one I can think about. I mean, lap 6. But it has some benefits, but I think you're right. We need to get to the new car. We need to get to a car that's built for a hybrid engine, and then I'm going to make my opinions on the hybrid engine.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's the engine or just the combination of this car wasn't built for the added weight.
I think it's that. It's the car wasn't built for the added weight.
Yeah.
But it also brings up a point, what do we want the new car to look like? And I know you and I have talked about that a little bit. I think it would be really cool if they went back to looking like jets, fighter jets on the
way back when in like 2010. Which
they'd be safer though. Like obviously like a modernized version of that where they just look like dogfighters. I don't know, like something cool.
Yeah, dude.
They need to look distinctly Indy.
Yeah, I really like how the current IndyCar looks.
Me too.
And I think there's no problems with it.
It
looks
a bit
wise.
Old, I feel like it feels old.
It feels old because it's 14 years old.
Yeah.
And it looks
the current version's 8 years old.
And the thing is, the current version looks so much different than
the
2012.
The old EW12, yeah.
Like it looks, it's the same car base, but with the aeroscreen and just even the side pods are slimmer. It just looks different. But it's the same car base, obviously, and like a lot of things with that. And we were talking about this before. To me, the car needs to, as long as the car looks cool, I have very little care in it. As long as it races well, and all the drivers love to drive it, which is obviously something we're seeing in F1 right now. I think there's only so much you can do with an Indy car that can make it look like not like an Indy car, right? They're gonna look different, which is something that, as an IndyCar fan who grew up an IndyCar fan, it's gonna be weird for me because I don't remember when Indy cars don't look like this. Yeah. So I'm really interested to see how my brain kind of interprets that whenever we do get this car, whether it is 2027 or 2032 or whenever this thing comes out. But I think as long as it looks like an Indy car, I care less than you do. It's much more about the racing quality for me.
Yeah, me too. I think, the racing quality obviously has to be the main factor in everything. Here, there's a point. I wrote this down and then I lost it, but I had a point about how see, like for street courses, for example, F1's goal is to go like as fast as they can, but for our IndyCar's goal is to just race as well as they can and create as good of a show as they can.
Which I like, as a fan perspective, I like better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I really bring to F1 fans than IndyCar. It's like, it's not the pinnacle of motorsports, right? It's not going to, it's technologically, it's not the most advanced equipment, but it is such it gives you a better comparison on drivers. It gives you a better, just because the driver,
it's
half
a better
the time,
spectacle when it comes to the performance.
100%.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, like, when you're trying to push something to its absolute limit technologically, it's not going to be fun to handle because you have to do some things to get to that point in F1, especially in older times when there were a lot less regulations on what you can and can't do. It was like you had to put some things in the car that were uncomfortable to make it there, right? In IndyCar, it's a lot more about driver comfortability and what they really like to drive and how they can drive it. Now, it's not easy in any ways.
No.
And it's like there's still going to be difficult to drive, but it's a lot more for the driver, what the driver wants, right? Now, power steering, power brakes aren't necessarily a part of that. That's kind of the outlier. But I haven't heard that as a complaint from any drivers, especially those that have moved over. I haven't heard anything about Mick Schumacher from him. He's got to be in better shape. Yeah. Which they're professional athletes, right? They can they can get in good shape. A lot of them already are. A lot of the F1 guys are as well. So almost all of them.
I think it's also something that's unique to IndyCar, which is another thing that stands out.
Yeah.
We need, right? If we're trying to make ourselves distinct from others, we're also trying to be like a top racing series. All right, I'm just going to steal Speed's segment right now. This week in racing, let's talk about it. So there was some endurance racing. Long Beach had IMSA, and then Imola had WEC. Both races were kind of decent. I mean, Imola is just a dead track that just doesn't produce good racing anymore. And
does F1 still go there?
No, they're not this year.
Okay.
But,
are they doing the alternate thing like they do with Barcelona?
I don't think so. It could come back in the future, but for now, it's gone. But I think Long Beach was really good for IMSA, and I think it's funny. I mean, I'm still trying to get more into endurance racing, and I made a comment to you saying, like, it'd be really cool if, like, we could see these hypercars in like a Grand Prix format where it's a shorter race, and then like I just didn't know that was a thing apparently with IMSA having like an hour and 45-minute race around Long Beach, and it was really exciting. I do like multi-class racing, but I think one thing that always kind of ticks me off sometimes is like when there's a really good battle between like two GT3s or two hypercars, and then like another car gets in the way, like from a different class gets in the way.
Yeah.
And it just kind of disrupts the battle. Like, makes me think like it'd be really cool because the endurance car or the GTPs, LMDH, LM, whatever the heck you want to call them, they have like 50 different names, and I don't know why can't they just use one name? I will never know. And anyway, it'd be really cool to see those cars, like the prototypes, go head to head on like an hour 30-minute race
with nothing
with
else on the way.
nothing else on the track.
Yeah,
just them. I think that'd be really cool. Just like a pure fight.
100% agree. Yeah, dude. IMSA cars are great. All series or all classes.
Yeah.
But those what used to be DPI and then or the LMP2 now, or whatever.
DPI became. Because it was DPI and IMSA, and there was LMP1 and WEC.
Yeah.
And then they were two different things entirely.
Yeah.
Then DPI became GTP, and LMP1 became Hypercar. But GTP and Hypercar are the same thing, pretty much.
Dude,
so I don't know.
It's too much for a casual fan to
I
figure
know.
out.
It's
But those GTP cars, the top level cars in IMSA are unbelievable to watch drive. And then even the lower level classes are really interesting.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think for a race like Daytona, like 24 Hours Daytona, even like a 12 hours Sebring, any of those long endurance races, I think the class racing is cool.
Yeah.
But when you're going on Long Beach.
Long Beach is not a super long track.
It's just too many cars.
Yeah.
And you don't get effective battles with it. So I agree with you. I think if we're going to do not even like the shorter race formats, it's more like shorter circuits.
Yeah.
Like Daytona's road course is a long circuit, especially when you include the oval turn.
Yeah.
Long Beach isn't that way. So, and it's already a pretty narrow track for those cars.
And it felt kind of crowded with all the cars on track. And it disrupted some of the battles.
So I think at minimum, we need to split it like top two classes in a race and bottom two classes in a race or something like that. So those are just ideas.
Yeah.
But no, it was really good to have IMSA there for the IndyCar weekend. It's great whenever you get to merge race series in a weekend. NASCAR and IndyCar earlier this year. Yeah. This is another big one. This has been a staple on the circuit for a long time for both IMSA and IndyCar. And it's always good to have them. But it was really good to see, and I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, looked like a great show for all the fans there. I mean, you get an endurance race or a sports car race, and then an IndyCar race. Like,
and the stadium super trucks, dude. Those things are awesome.
Yeah, and the Formula Drift was there too, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, I did see videos of that.
Cool.
That looked, them drifting around that 180 almost 180 twin hairpin at the end of the lap there at Long Beach looked awesome.
That looked sick.
And then obviously the stadium super trucks, dude. Them just watching cars like that jump on street courses is unbelievable.
Riding those waves.
The three-wheel turns. Those guys were awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I wish we had those at some other tracks in IndyCar. I love having those on
that'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm really jealous I didn't get to see those in person.
It's cool having like this kind of entourage around an IndyCar race. Really fun.
Yeah. It's weird. It feels weird because IndyCar didn't have this for a long time.
I know.
They're the main race in a lot of other large series and well-known racing series.
Right. Like
or just cool things. Or like IMSA's well-known or
IMSA's like
super trucks
probably
is just
the fourth
cool.
biggest racing series in America. Like, because it probably goes NASCAR, IndyCar.
I would say IMSA.
NHRA. Like by American series, because like obviously F1.
I would say IMSA. For me, IMSA's bigger than NHRA, but I have no idea.
NHRA gets a lot of viewers.
That's also true. I have no idea about the stats.
I don't watch it, but like it actually gets a lot of attention.
Drag racing isn't my thing, but
it's a whole other audience. Like it's very different. From, it is.
It's very because I remember when IndyCar came out with the fastest racing on Earth slogan, there was a lot of pushback from the NHRA guys.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And like all the IndyCar guys and really just general like even F1 people hopped in on it. Like it's different.
Yeah.
Like yes.
Yeah.
But like we didn't mean to upset you.
No.
It was just like it's not the same.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not.
So but no, it's good to have IMSA there with at Long Beach with IndyCar, and all the other series that were there. But dude, NASCAR. is a big talking point this weekend.
Yeah.
And I know you've got some thoughts on it, so I want to throw it to you.
Yeah, so NASCAR race at Kansas, and Tyler Reddick won for the 15th billionth time this year, and that was, yeah. I mean, the race wasn't super interesting, which was kind of a problem because Kansas has historically in the next gen era been like the best track on the circuit. So when it wasn't a good race, that made a lot of fans worried, and I think rightfully so, because if this car is getting stale already at the tracks that it's supposed to be good at, when it's been stale at short tracks for some time, road courses for some time, something's got to change.
Yeah.
So there's a big conversation like, can NASCAR keep trying to change the Gen 7 car, or should they just bring in a Gen 8 car early? Because it feels like we've gotten to a point where like the racing this year has just not been what it was, and it's a problem.
Yeah.
Like you can't ignore it anymore, and it's starting to turn fans away. Like I saw, I think it was like Jeff Gluck or somebody who posted on Twitter like this picture of a ton of fans leaving the race with like 60 to go. Like, that's not good. Yeah.
That's something that I wasn't expecting from NASCAR.
Then Hamlin lost another race in overtime. Did you see that?
I mean, that just throws back to the overtime comment I have.
It's so stupid. I mean, like, and I saw this video. Oh my god, that was such a good video. Hold on, I forgot who made it. But I have to talk about this because this was just an amazing video.
I mean, overall, overtime in general is just like, we both mutually hate it. It's so dumb. It's not in the spirit of racing. I think anyone that's not the NASCAR, like, they're bored and who makes decisions. And most NASCAR fans hate it.
Yeah.
Like, no one really likes it.
No one likes it.
I think it
doesn't belong in racing.
The thing is, I don't even think it could save this weekend's race. I think this weekend's race was really boring, and I haven't seen any comments online that the overtime finish made it a better race. I think it just left a bad taste in everyone's mouth because Denny deserved to win that race, and he didn't.
I know.
Because of overtime.
Yeah. And
nothing against Tyler Reddick. He was there and got the job done when he needed to.
Oh, Reddick's been phenomenal, and this is not to take away from his achievement at all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, it's stupid that he was running out of gas, by the way, at the end of that race with 2
Tyler
to go.
Reddick was?
Yeah, they were coming to the white. Hamlin was like 200 feet away from the line when the caution flew. So
I did see this,
and
actually.
Reddick probably would not have finished even in like the top 5.
I hate that as well.
Yeah.
The fact that it's not even like we're going to the last lap.
Yeah.
Because in IndyCar, like, even the red flag that they threw back at the 2023 500 it was with the Ericsson Newgarden situation, didn't agree with it because that's never been done before, but I kind of get it, right?
Yeah.
There is time to do a green or a white checker, right? Which green-white checker is a typical thing.
Right.
Part of me got it, right? As a racing and a fan perspective, I loved it. 200 feet from the line, so now you've gone to race distance. Because by the time Denny's probably realized there was a yellow, he's already across the line.
He started slowing down like right before it. But
he had won the race.
Yeah. And it's the same thing that happened in Phoenix that cost him a championship, by the way, right? Like he was halfway through the lap with 3 to go, coming up on 2 to go. And like that race should have just ended under yellow. And it would have in any other series except maybe the 2023 Indy 500.
But that one's still like there's 2 to go, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he's 200 feet from the line.
Yeah.
And then the yellow throws, which happened like right next to him, right? Or like barely in front of him.
I think it was in like turn 1 or 2. Cody Ware spun on his own.
I saw something
garbage,
like that.
But yeah.
Either way, like something like that is unbelievable to me. I mean, essentially the race is over.
Yeah.
It's not even like you're going a little bit over distance to end it over under green, like a normal overtime would be with it going yellow 2 to 3 laps to go. But Cody Ware didn't even hit anything, right?
No.
Like in IndyCar, that wouldn't even be a yellow.
It was a self spin, and he got going again pretty quickly.
In a lot of IndyCar races, that wouldn't even have been a yellow. It probably would have had an oval, just because of dangerous position. But at a road course, it wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Now I understand this is also a NASCAR oval, but it's also a lot less dangerous when those cars hit each other compared to an IndyCar.
Yeah.
A lot more protective.
I was gonna say, that's
just the way the car's built.
Right.
No, not saying NASCAR shouldn't have thrown the yellow. Just saying overtime's dumb.
Yeah, it's so stupid. So anyways, there's the Emp Lemon video, which I wanted to talk about. You need to watch this video. Okay. This is such a good video. It's NASCAR's Most Chaotic Driver. That's the name of the video by Emp Lemon. It came out 5 days ago and already has 800,000 views. Basically, he talks about
impressive numbers.
Yeah, he talks about how NASCAR just like completely shot itself in the foot with the playoffs, and how overtime is also a huge issue, and people who hate the playoffs should also hate overtime. And I completely agree. I think it's kind of funny how like people don't complain about overtime as anywhere near as much as they complain about the playoffs, but it's essentially like the same problem. It's just a stupid, gimmicky sports thing that doesn't belong in racing.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Racing isn't meant for... Let me put it this way.
There is no overtime because there's no time. The racing gets determined by distance and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes me mad.
Like
I don't like it.
Overtime in basketball in the NBA,
Yeah.
right, happens when two teams are tied at the end of a race.
You don't tie in racing.
This isn't Cars 1. There isn't like no
There's
one
no three-way tie.
No one ties at the line,
No.
right? So that's one, impossible.
Uh-huh.
Two, in the NBA, no matter what, they still play till the end of the fourth quarter,
Right.
and that's when it's tied.
Yes.
They don't extend it past the fourth.
No.
Now they extend it past the fourth quarter.
They make a new
They make a new
Yes.
quarter because they're
Kind of, yeah.
tied. They don't say, "Oh, the Bucks are up by 2," but then Giannis Antetokounmpo gets hurt, so all of a sudden, no, we got to go to overtime. That's essentially kind of what happens.
It is. It's so dumb. It could not be more stupid.
On top
It
of that,
sucks.
playoffs exist in the NBA because you don't get to play every team the same amount of times.
Mm-hmm.
You race every driver the same amount of times in NASCAR, right? Now you can make the argument for tracks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like, they choose the tracks for
Right.
the playoffs. It is so biased, and that's why NASCAR's gotten rid of the playoffs.
Well, yeah, because it sucked, and it kept giving people who didn't deserve championships. Joey Logano in 2024 had an average finish of like 17.4. I'm tempted to say. He had one win going into the playoffs, but he just like lucked into a few wins and he won the championship just because Penske had a good package at Phoenix, which was the championship race. He extended his fuel at Las Vegas to win, even though Christopher Bell dominated the entire race. And he won at Atlanta, I think, in the first round. And also in the round of 12, Alex Bowman made it instead of Logano, but then got disqualified because he had an underweight car because he went across a curb and like his diffuser fell off.
It's unbelievable
It's just
to me.
so dumb.
Well, on top of all of that, it's unbelievable to me that the champion comes down to one final race at a specific track when racing is so determined on what car you bring to the track.
Yeah.
And that's all team-based, not driver-based.
Right.
Right?
That's
Like,
why Penske won it 3 years in a row with Logano, Blaney, Logano.
because
they knew Phoenix.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like IndyCar going, I guess the 500 is probably a bad example,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, dude, say Iowa was the championship race.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph Newgarden would have won every single IndyCar championship.
Yeah.
He won, I think, 6 out of 8 races there in 4 years.
It was something ridiculous like that.
Or 6 out of 8 races in 5 years, I think it was, because they did 2 doubleheaders. No, 3 doubleheaders.
Starting when?
2022, 3, and 4. Either way,
Yeah.
numbers don't matter. It's something crazy like that.
And plus, one of those was won by McLaughlin, right? like,
I'm pretty sure.
yeah.
Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And obviously we know, I mean, they call Justin Newgarden the king of the corn for a reason, right? And we know his oval racing ability, but like it just makes no sense to me, right? And I know it's a bit different in IndyCar just because there is a legit difference in the cars, especially with the back wing between an oval and a road course. And it's not exactly the case in NASCAR, it is, but like still, bringing a package is so different. Like if Penske is definitely the top car at Phoenix, then someone from, I don't know, Trackhouse has absolutely no chance.
No.
Like,
No. Yeah. And it's so dumb, like how Hamlin actually had overcome that. No Penske cars made the championship for last year. And Hamlin was overcoming everything. It looked like he was finally going to get it. And then overtime. Championship gone.
Yeah.
That's not what we should use. That's not how we should determine our champion. Like, it's just stupid.
And the fact that they got rid of playoffs but not overtime to me made no sense because I felt like those went hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. And overtime will be replaced eventually because they listen to the fans regarding the playoffs. And the fans always win. If you complain loud enough, you will get your way.
Yeah.
So I think the fans just got to remember that and keep fighting to get rid of overtime.
I feel like most NASCAR fans hate overtime.
Most of us do.
Yeah.
But it creates chaos, and chaos creates content.
And NASCAR likes content.
Yeah, they do.
I saw something the other day that they posted a fight after a race between drivers from 2023. And then the first comment was, you'll post it 2 years later for content, but you fine each driver $100,000 each when you handle it the old style way.
Yes. They're very hypocritical about that.
And it makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
If you're going to fine drivers and if you're going to try to create this PR look that's not what you're trying to do with your sport, but then you're going to post it 2 years later as something that you seem to be promoting, Pick one or the other,
Yeah.
man. Like I just that makes no sense.
It's like when
to me.
they reposted 2024, Austin Dillon, Rex, Logano, and Hamlin on the last lap to win in Richmond. And, like he got his playoff spot taken away for that, and he got fined like $50,000. But they still repost it every year.
Yeah.
Every time they go to Richmond. So yeah, stupid.
Makes no sense to me. Well, Formula E car came out today.
It did.
Well, it came out a little bit ago.
Well,
they tested it.
Well,
today.
they tested it today formally,
and
here,
you know
here
a lot
it
more
is.
than I do.
Yes.
We can see it. We're good.
Okay,
It's a cool looking car.
It looks cool. It looks cool. I'm impressed personally. I think it
Yes.
looks pretty nice.
I like it.
It looks like a proper race car for the first time because I don't think Formula E's ever really looked like a proper race car in its history.
Yeah.
It's like the first one that really feels like sporty and cool. It looks quick, and it looks quick on track too. I'll tell you that. Like it looks good. It goes from 0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds, I think.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and I think it goes to 0 to 120 in like 3. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Formula E has always been an interesting series for me because it's open about the gimmicky stuff that NASCAR tries to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Right? NASCAR added the playoffs and overtime for, like, not that that's what Formula E has, but like that's the gimmicky stuff that's not racing, that's not original, like normal racing stuff. But I feel like they try to make it a part of normal racing when Formula E is very open that this is what we do. We have gimmicky things.
Exactly, but they embraced that from the beginning.
Exactly.
Which is why it's okay. If that's part of your identity from the get-go,
100%.
then there's no reason to complain about it because that's just how the series is. But when you're an established series like NASCAR who's never had any gimmicks, and all of a sudden you add them to gain viewership and it doesn't work, then yeah, you deserve some criticism for that.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's why, as a typical racing fan, I've never been able to get fully into Formula E just because of those aspects.
Right.
But I also respect it, right? I know there's a lot of good drivers in Formula E, and I know Formula E has its devoted fans. And I do. If I turn on the TV and a Formula E's race is on, I will turn it on. I'll watch it. But I think
For good reason, too. I think, with the new car, I mean, the Gen 4 is going to be impressive to watch on track. Like, it's going to be 10 seconds a lap faster than the current Gen 3 car.
which is significant.
That is significant.
Very significant.
And I think it's going to be really fun to watch. And I think it's cool kind of seeing, this is almost like modern day, like if you can imagine almost early F1 when they were kind of figuring things out and just getting more and more time. Obviously, F1's kind of reached a point where they're not really chasing lap time anymore the same way that they were. But Formula E, it feels like a modern version of early F1. Obviously, it's very different because it's electric, but yet again, that is the future of automobiles, whether we like it or not. Like, it's moving in an electric direction. It doesn't mean racing has to move in an electric direction, but just this series is an electric series.
The world is moving in an electric direction.
Precisely. So I don't have any problems with it, but I think it's kind of cool because like the cars have just gotten so much faster since 2014 when the series started. That's crazy. It was only 12 years ago. And these cars have gotten significantly faster.
That and
the
they've
batteries
made
have
a lot
gotten
of
way
like
better.
just advancements in like
The technology is incredible.
technology and viewership. Like I
Yeah.
remember when Formula E started, it was 100% a joke.
Yeah.
And now there are like some legit teams in Formula One that
yeah.
you recognize from other series. Like I know
Porsche, Jaguar.
McLaren was in Formula E.
They
I
were.
don't
So
believe they
was
are anymore.
Mercedes. Mercedes won 2
Wasn't
championships.
Andretti in Formula E at one point?
They still are.
They still see. Look
Yeah.
at I know things.
Yeah.
I know things. I'm proud of myself.
They got the TWG car. Looks pretty cool.
Who drives it?
Jake Dennis and who's the other driver?
It's okay if you don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah.
There's some recognizable driver names in Formula E.
Yeah.
Like I think they're doing a good thing over there, and I respect them for it. And I need to tune into some more Formula E races. Just
Especially next year. This is the time to get into
the
it.
cars look a lot more impressive, and not even just by view, but like when they're actually on the circuit and driving, than they ever have.
Yeah.
And they're not like a second tier or a third tier car like they always used to be.
No,
They
not
used
anymore.
to be a lot slower and whatnot.
Yeah.
But they are picking up that part.
Like, it is becoming a series for top level talent, like where they can.
You just
really
have to
go and-
embrace the gimmicky part of it.
right. And I think besides like the gimmicky part, like, there's the fan vote where you can give like a driver extra energy, and there's the attack mode, which is also a gimmick. But besides
Which
that,
is
I mean, that's
close-ish to push to pass, if I understand correctly.
So basically, it kind of, yeah. So they go wide at a corner, and they have to follow this line, so they lose a couple positions by doing it. But it gives them the extra energy so they can repass them and they just go like much faster. Like they have a lot of more battery output.
So you're basically banking on yourself to repass the two guys
and pull away further.
Yes. Which creates passing.
Yes. But it's also in the driver's hands because they determine how much they use and when. So you can either use 2 at one point and 6 at another, or 4 and 4, or 6 and 2. So there's 3 different ways you can use it.
Very
which
impressive.
I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean it's in the driver's hands.
I like
the team's
things
hands.
that put into the. It's more strategy.
Yeah, it is.
Right. I need to get more into Formula E.
It's just pretty exciting. And yeah, I mean, with the cars getting faster, I think it's pretty cool. And it reminds me, like I said about earlier F1, where like teams would join and kind of learn about that and like come up with these innovations and then apply them to their road cars. We've seen that. Like the battery advancements in these cars are incredible. Yeah. Especially like in 2014 when the series started, they had to swap cars halfway through the race because the cars didn't have enough, like the batteries weren't powerful enough to go a full race. But now they can, and it's only
they can actually go fast.
The output is going to be 850 kilowatts from these cars.
Wow. And
the current F1 50/50 hybrid, whatever you want to call it, is 350 kilowatts.
Yeah.
And they're reducing it to 2. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. F1's reducing the battery output from 350 kilowatts to 250.
So they're becoming less of a hybrid series?
Yes, they're reducing the importance of the hybrid.
How is that going to affect fuel load? Like, are they just going to have to put more fuel in the car to start the races?
I mean, they might have to, and lap times are probably going to drop a bit.
Haven't already.
Yeah. Yeah. So
F1's in a bad spot. We've talked about that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't think this is going to change as much as some people think it will.
It won't.
Like, it really won't. Like,
it won't. I don't know why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But it won't.
Yeah.
It won't. It won't change anything because we're going to a lot of tracks with the new car for the first time already. So we're going to see a decline in performance from things we've seen in the past. This will just add a little bit of decline in performance.
I think it really depends if it changes the strength of boost mode and overtake mode, where we saw like in Suzuka where cars would pass each other before like halfway down the straight. It might push that back to further down the straight. We'll see. Honestly, I hope so because it kind of sucks to see the overtake get done before you're even halfway done. Yeah, right. Like that's ridiculous.
I'm hoping this will make it look a bit more natural.
Yeah.
I'm still, as racing fans, we're still going to know it's essentially fake passing, right? And I think what everyone's trying to do is they're hoping that it's going to be further down the straight, so there is a chance for drivers to defend.
Yeah.
But when the passing driver has attack mode or whatever it's called.
Overtake. I don't even know. There's too many terms.
Whatever it is,
new and gimmicky.
Like when the attacking driver has full battery and the defending driver does not.
Right.
I still think there's gonna be nothing they can do. Even if the pass is happening going into the turn rather than prior to the turn. Now, I think it's still gonna be like. It's just going to look like a more natural overtake.
Yeah.
But there's still nothing they can do, which is the problem I have with it the most.
Yeah.
Is that there is literally no chance that the defending driver is going to hold off the position and the driver that's trying to attack is going to have to regroup and try to go for it again, which is one thing I love about IndyCar and something we see all the time. And I love when drivers are able to, it's annoying sometimes, but say there's a charging driver coming through the field and the driver in second is on black tires on the hard compound and they're trying to save fuel and they end up holding off that driver for 5 laps.
Yeah.
It's annoying because you don't get to see that passing, but it's really impressive. And it's something I actually enjoy seeing that a lot of other fans don't. So that's something I don't like about F1 right now. And we'll see if the battery reliance changes anything.
Yeah. It's kind of weird how like the innovation in series like FE and like WEC is more than F1's innovation.
Yeah.
Like it almost like F1 like they act like they're moving towards the future with this battery output, but like that's not their thing.
No.
Like that's and then again, even the CEO of FE called them out on that and said like you're Formula 1, you're not Formula 1E. Like you gotta it's
they're having a difficult time right now embracing their identity.
Yeah,
and what
they sold it out. It's all corporate now, and
yeah, they don't know what they want to be as a series, and they're trying to figure it out. And to me, it looks like they're pulling from different series to try to be this hybrid of all the series. But that's not what Formula 1 is. Formula 1 is the pinnacle of technological motorsports, and it should always be that way.
Yeah,
and it shouldn't be. I
can include electronics, but not to the extent.
Yeah. And we might get to a point where electronic motorsports is a more higher technical advancement than what we are currently seeing. But in my opinion, F1 has always been. I was never like I never had a problem with the poor racing because I understood that it's all about developing the best car you can. Obviously, regs are going to be something that you need, but not to the extent we see it right now.
Yeah.
I don't think it should be just bring literally whatever you can. The car's got to all look pretty similar and whatnot, but that's just not how F1 is anymore. It's the fastest you can make it to the regs, which in my opinion makes it no different than IndyCar. The only thing is you are still developing your own car, but you still are only developing it to the highest that the regulations will let you do it, which is not that much different from IndyCar. The only difference is the car spec.
That's another thing I'm curious about is like, what is the peak limit for how much development these cars can have? Like, when's it going to plummet? Or, sorry, peak, right?
Yeah.
Like, it could plateau earlier than other regulations.
It could.
Right? I mean, typically, like, they do kind of plateau by, like, that third or fourth year. But, I really don't know how much room for growth there is within this
We
platform.
won't know.
We'll find out.
We genuinely have no idea.
Yeah.
And we're going to just have to wait a few years to see and hope F1 does some things during that time to make it better than it is right now. All right, a conversation Aiden and I have been having a lot lately off the podcast, off air, off ATB, if you will, is I think not only do we need to expand the IndyCar schedule, but I think we need another oval, and we think a good time for that would be right now in April. Right? The IndyCar schedule varies a lot more than some other racing series does, but we're just going to go off of this year's schedule, and this year's schedule is the big break is in April, and that's right now with just Long Beach in the middle. So we looked at a few options. And Aiden's got an oval for us that we think would fit in. I've got one. We'll give our explanation. So Aiden, hit me with it.
All right. Well, I think Homestead should be either the week after Long Beach or like a week before Long Beach, somewhere in that gap. Because right now, there's 3 weeks from Barber to Long Beach and then 3 weeks from Barber to IndyGP. And I feel like it kind of just with Long Beach, like Long Beach is obviously a classic race, but it's not the most exciting race. So we need something else to keep the hype going into May. Yeah, which is why we need 2 races.
100%, I agree. I think we need another race in April. I love, even with everything around DC, I love that we added it because we've had a lot of conversation and talk in IndyCar in the past about how we needed a larger schedule. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think last year was 17 races, and that is significantly less than almost every other racing series in the world. And I think 20 to 22 is probably the hot spot. I think 20 might be my perfect number, and we're getting closer to that.
That's my number too.
I think we're at 19 this year?
We're 18.
18 this year. So this would get us to 19. I think, in my opinion, both of those extra races to get to 20 should be ovals. IndyCar needs a bigger oval presence. But for me, with that, we can do both. I want to go back to Homestead as well, but my racetrack I really want to see IndyCar go back to is Richmond.
Oh, okay.
This was, I don't know if you remember this, but in 2020, they released a schedule that IndyCar was going to run prior to COVID coming out, and Richmond was on that schedule. IndyCar was going to try going back. I remember Scott Dixon had a few quotes about it in a racer article because he obviously is one of the drivers that actually raced at Richmond in IndyCar, and I think that would be a good race.
That's a good shout.
It's a good track. It's well kept. Obviously, NASCAR still races there, and they host a lot of other series as well. It's a good short oval, which obviously go well with IndyCar. And I think for just that general part of the world is we're going there with DC, but not that Virginia's northeast, but it's closer than anything else we have right now. We really don't go any further that way than Iowa right now. Yeah. Or I'm sorry, Ohio right now with Mid-Ohio. Beside for the DC race that we've got that I think we all expect to be a 1-year thing and probably not going back. So I think that would be a really good thing to expand it to that part of the world. New Hampshire was a place we talked about before. I just don't know if that might be too far northeast. Maybe. I don't know if there's enough crowd up there. We're really trying to, in my mind, we're really trying to appeal to the New York City, Boston, all the big cities that are up there, right? Yeah. Pittsburgh, all that area. So maybe there's, in Virginia, Richmond to me was kind of the closest we can get to that area, but maybe there's a few other tracks up there. Obviously, Pocono was in Watkins Glen for a while, IndyCar stables that worked out up there. Yeah. But I think we really need to find us to race in that area to expand. And for me, Richmond's that track.
I like that. Yeah. That's actually a good shout. I was not expecting you to say. I don't even know what I was expecting you to say, but yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, I think Richmond would fit Indy cars really well. It's
3/4 mile
obviously
track.
on their mind because they were looking at 26 years ago now. But
Yeah.
with the newer car, it's been on their mind.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that they'd actually planned and worked out with Richmond.
Yeah.
And I don't know what their schedule looks like for April. I don't even know what Doug Bowles is planning for next year. But I think we need more ovals on the schedule. I think ovals are what makes IndyCar IndyCar.
Yeah.
And to me, I think Richmond's Homestead as well, but I think Richmond is like.
I feel like we need Homestead because it's a 1.5 mile track. We need bigger ovals. I love short ovals, but Nashville's the only track that's bigger than a mile that's not the 500.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is a real shame.
The only thing with Homestead is we would have to plan it earlier in the year just because of how hauling cars around works and weather. Homestead is obviously in Florida. That is a war. And we still do tests there. Mick Schumacher tested there. So IndyCar still has a relationship with the track. I just think the last time we went, I don't know if the fan turnout was as big as they wanted it to be, which has been a lot. Milwaukee, we went back to. That worked.
Yeah,
Phoenix
exactly.
was
That's
the same
thing.
reason.
That was a long time ago, and I think things have heavily improved since then.
I agree. Yeah. But also, I don't know how far that is from St. Pete, but it can't be. And they're in the same. Florida's a big state.
It's not that far.
Yeah.
It's like an hour.
So, like, if that's.
Wait, no, sorry. I don't know where I was thinking. No, it's like
either way,
2 hours.
It's in the same state, right? So you're not really appealing to a new audience, which is something IndyCar's really looking for more than anything else when they're looking for new circuits and new tracks. But I really like the Homestead shout. I think that would work really well for IndyCar. But I think Richmond geographically makes the most sense, and we're adding another oval to the schedule, which for me, although I agree, we need more short ovals. We need more. We need more.
Oh, it's 4 hours. My gosh.
4 hours.
I was wrong. Whoops.
That's still pretty close.
I did not realize Florida was that big. Okay.
Oh, Florida's huge, dude. But I think genuinely, like, we need more ovals. And although I agree we need more 1.5 mile plus, we need, something else. There's just not a lot of super speedways or even 1.5 mile pluses out there that IndyCar will go to.
I know.
Just based on geographical location and the safety of it. A lot of them I don't think have kept up with the safety that IndyCar looks for that they see at the Indianapolis 500 and whatnot, which is a big thing for IndyCar, especially with the injuries we had just between probably 2012 to 2019. Yeah. That's a kind of a general idea.
I'd much rather see more ovals than more street courses.
100%, me too.
Like,
that's what we're trying to figure out here. Right? And that's why for me, geographical location, they threw in DC. Obviously, that's a whole thing.
And then Denver's probably going to be next.
Denver has been an idea. There's been a lot of other like street course ideas. And I love going to Colorado, right? Yeah. And I think, but that just shows to me that Doug Bowles and IndyCar are looking at where the tracks are located and what type of audience can we pay into that doesn't usually get IndyCar. And I like that idea. I love the idea of expanding IndyCar. And I think Richmond is a perfect place. That's a part and a part of the country that we don't go to. That
get some more East Coast attention, especially because DC is going to be a one-time thing, right?
Probably.
So like if you get fans in DC, Richmond's not too far from there, I don't think. So it's like,
oh no, dude, I can look it up.
Yeah,
but it's close.
Yeah. Like if you can get fans interested in that, and then they go to the other one, then
100%. Like I think if we can get not Richmond, Indiana, Richmond, Kentucky. Nope, Richmond, Virginia.
Yeah, I think that looks like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah, like if we can get fans in that area right now hooked, 2 hours, and that's with traffic.
Okay.
So if we can get fans in DC hooked on IndyCar, right, or in the general Washington D.C. area, Baltimore's in that area. We obviously used to go there as an IndyCar. Yeah. Like a lot of other things like that. If we can get them hooked, I think a Richmond ad would be huge. Yeah. I think we could get a lot of fans from that general area. And maybe old, fans that went to the Baltimore IndyCar race might drive down, stuff like that. So I think Richmond's a great shout. All right, Aiden and I have got 3 drivers each that we view as the most underrated drivers in IndyCar. We wanted not a hot take segment this week, but just kind of thoughts about drivers and, really talk about the series more individually rather than where the series is going, which is I feel like what this podcast has been mostly about. So hit me with I don't know about you. I ranked mine 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, I need to pull mine up because mine aren't ranked.
Okay.
There's in general.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But who is one of your most underrated drivers in IndyCar?
I went with Louis Foster as one of them.
Okay. I didn't put him down, but I really thought about it. He's probably like my 4th.
Yeah.
What's your reasoning?
I think he hasn't had the best season this year, But like he was on for a good performance at Long Beach, and then like, something just went wrong with his car, and he fell out of. He was in the top 15 at the time.
He still finished like 18th, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. But he was having a good day. This season hasn't gone the way he would have liked, but last year he was pretty decent, and he had that amazing pole position at Road America, which I kind of forgot about.
Low-key, me too, and I was there. So
yeah, I know, like he has potential for sure, and I think.
Yeah, he still finished 16th at Long Beach.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Like his position, like his finishing positions, I feel like just don't really reflect how decent he is.
Yeah,
maybe.
I agree.
Yeah,
and Louis Foster is obviously an Indy Next champion, and he's arguably one of the worst cars in IndyCar right now. So I think he just got unlucky in that way. And I feel bad for Mick in the same because I don't think he realized like team landscape when he came over here.
Mick's not even been that far off Louis. So Mick, you could honestly say Mick is an underrated driver because
I think it's hard to say so far just because of how new he is.
It's been five
races.
Yeah.
But getting a top 4 start on his first oval is obviously impressive. And he's come at it with an ambition I like to see. So I think Mick he's got a good start. But my number 1 underrated driver in IndyCar, which is I went with more bigger drivers than I think you did.
Okay.
But mine is Marcus Armstrong.
Okay.
I think he's starting to get the recognition.
Solid.
This is something I saw even before the year started. But Marcus Armstrong to me, he's obviously just fell out of the top 10 of the points because he had an issue with his car at Long Beach. Not his fault.
Right.
But I think he's an unbelievable start to the year, and I don't think he's getting the respect he deserves as one of those top guys in IndyCar, right? Because
honestly, I agree with that.
Because Meyer Shank is a not a lower level team, but they're not in that top 4, even though he's essentially driving a Chip Ganassi car.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets and I think sometimes Felix Rosenquist gets thrown into that top group, like deservingly
Rightfully so.
Obviously, this weekend showed he's a top class driver.
Yes.
But I think Armstrong deserves to be in that group as well. And like I'm not going to say I would replace him here, but like in my driver power rankings, I have him above Christian Lundgaard. Right, I have him above some other guys like that because he's really performing this year, and I'm excited to see what he can continue doing.
That's a good take.
Who's your second driver?
I put Alexander Rossi down up there.
Okay, he's my second driver as well.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first.
His performances have gone so under the radar this year.
100%.
He's been like kind of low, mid top 10s, but he's like always up there, and people just don't talk about him.
What people do not understand.
People kind of act like he's washed, but he's still doing pretty
I
damn
acted like he was washed. I changed. I went to like David Malukas. I felt like I needed to find a new driver. Now, I still support Alexander Rossi.
Yeah.
But what people don't realize is he is in 11th in the standings. He did have a bad race. I forget which one. St. Pete, maybe? Anyways. But he has 3 top 10s this year, and he has 2 and an 11th place finish. Right? So he essentially has 4 top 10s in the first 5 races, which for an ECR team that for season expectations coming in, they all seemed pretty confident. Rasmussen has had a very underperforming season. Obviously, he's an Nova guy who's only run the 1 oval, and in that 1 oval, he had an unbelievable race and proceeded to get screwed by his car. Because whether you see that as a racing incident or not, I do, whatever. But I think I can't tell if it's like obviously Rossi's driving the car, right? And we talk about an IndyCar all the time, like it's more driver than anything else. But I think in an ECR car, in an ECR team that's been underperforming, he's been getting results out of a car that I don't know if deserves a top 10.
His last few finishes, I've just looked 9th, 11th, and 7th. His last few finishes. So that's really good.
And then he's got another top 10 on the year as well.
9th, 11th, and 9th.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
And usually his qualifying isn't. He's a really good Sunday driver.
He is,
or like a race day driver, right? And we've always loved to have Alexander Rossi. I think as soon as he moved to ECR, good move by him. I love that, especially because he's good friends with Ed Carpenter and everything's working well that way. But I think everyone kind of tossed him under the radar as a secondhand driver when I think he still has that top tier quality. Yeah. He's just not in one of those cars. So
I agree.
And he's done all of this without leading a lap this year, which shows you that he's just working his way up through the field.
Yeah.
He's just like literally starting. I don't have like numbers, but he's starting mid-teens, works his way up throughout the day, battles with ECR's got a good pit crew. They won the pit stop competition this week.
Did.
Christian Rasmussen's team did. So shout out to them in the 4-car pit stop bracket without a top 4 team in it. But that's always how Long Beach is. But no, I really like Alexander Rossi there as an underrated driver in IndyCar, which is weird to say. As he's
Yeah, I
been
know.
a top driver in IndyCar since he came over in 2016.
He was very well taught in like 2019. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, I think the fact that he didn't have a championship during his Andretti days and only won 500 is insane to me. As someone who's gone back and watched all those,
Yeah.
like I'm in the last one right now in 2021.
Yeah,
and like
very highly touted. Yeah.
Crazy to me that. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I was going back to through the stuff. Isn't it insane to you that in Pelot's first year in the 500, it was Scott McLaughlin's rookie year?
Yeah.
Right?
Jimmy Johnson's half rookie year.
Jimmy Johnson's half rookie year. Alexander Rossi was still in an Andretti car.
He was.
Like, that's how long Pelot's been dominating this series. Rossi was in his last year with Andretti. James Hinchcliffe was driving the Indianapolis 500
He was.
the year that Pelot won his first championship.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was something I noticed last night.
Yeah.
Who's your third driver?
Rinus VK.
I expected that, which is why I didn't put him down.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Okay. Who'd you put?
I put for my third driver Marcus Ericsson.
Okay.
I think he's started to get a lot of crap put on his name because Andretti screws him over a lot. He's gotten unlucky a lot, which sometimes is Andretti's fault, sometimes isn't.
Like car mechanical failures. I mean,
exactly. But I think he, in that Andretti squad especially, has immediately been thrown under the rug of Kyle Kirkwood and Will Power, or last year Colton Herta, as the third driver no matter what.
Yeah.
And I think Arlington, he started to prove that with his pole, but obviously there was some stuff there because he had the prime position to get it, whatever. And this, for me, this isn't even coming off of results, because this is just off of my pure view of Marcus Ericsson. Like, his results don't even back up my claim that much, but I think he still is a top driver and has the past results with other teams, specifically Ganassi, to prove it.
Yeah.
I think he's just, for me, he's got to move on from Andretti. I've said this on the podcast. I think it's a written thing. No matter how well he does this year, I think Dennis Auger's taking that car. I think he needs to go find a seat somewhere else, whether that be at, I don't know, AJ Foyt or some other team that's still fast but going to be a mid-table car. And I think he just needs to start clicking off those top 10 results, something that Rossi or VK is doing in a lower level car.
Yeah.
And I think he needs to prove his way back that way.
I agree. Yeah. And for me, VK, like, he's always up there as well. He hasn't had as many top 10s this year as maybe last year, but, like, I mean, he's not in the best equipment, especially on road courses and street courses.
Arguably in bottom 3 equipment.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what Rinus can do at the 500.
I know, and I'm also really excited to see, like, at the other ovals, like Gateway, I think is a great opportunity for him.
100%.
Phoenix was going to be a great opportunity. He could have gotten a top 5 or top 10 there, and then Pelot took himself and VK out, which was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I think he's definitely underrated. I think I'd love to see him in a top seat at some point, just like so he could try to prove himself, because I think he has proven himself as a worthy IndyCar driver, but I think he could really, like, do super well again. And I think we're forgetting, like, this guy won a race in an ECR car.
No, 100%
in
agree.
His second season. Like,
Rinus VK is legit.
Yeah.
He just is a legit driver who never got a top car potential.
Yeah, I know.
And I think he proved that had a Delcoin car, and he's had an underperforming beginning of the season here at JHR, but I don't know if it's 100% his fault.
I don't know. And, like, especially in Long Beach, like, he was on an alternate strategy, and then the yellow just blew it for him.
Yeah.
And he finished 14th.
I think it's and 14th isn't even that bad of a finish for a JHR car.
No, it's not.
I think it's just been too small of a sample size to tell for Rinus VK so far this year, and I think as we go in further, he's going to start picking up the pace and just get luckier, right? You can only get unlucky so many times. That's the old saying. So
I agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to this week's episode of Across the Bricks. We'll be back at you next week with a great episode, and we'll see you next week.
Ciao, ciao.